Hey, it's Jen. I've got another movement of the day post for you. Today's mod, I'm going to show you a sample mind-body connection drill that you can do. This one particular has the added bonus of possibly helping to correct any shoulder pain or shoulder imbalance, even though it's not focused on the shoulder at all. And so I will explain why that is. First, I want to lay down the foundation of what I mean by mind-body connection, because I do want to keep showing you other samples. Mind-body connection goes beyond our intentional focus of a certain body part activating and moving a certain way. That is where most of us will focus on, but mind-body connection is hierarchical. So on one end of the spectrum, you have what I refer to as the automatic mind-body connection, such as walking. So we don't normally have to stop and think about putting one foot in front of the other, but it is a level of mind-body connection, because should you suffer a stroke or injury where you have to go through physical therapy and relearn that, that is having to reconnect the mind and body. Then you have the other end of the spectrum where you have the mind-body connection for something established enough to the point where it becomes automatic. And automatic in the sense that we don't have to think about it in order to do it the correct way. And then that frees up our cerebral power to keep engaging in different ways with our mind and body connection. And the enhancement level of where you're increasing your physicality with the aesthetics portion, as well as your reactivity and speed. So barring any physiological or anatomical restrictions, biomechanically speaking, we all have the same intended function, right, of our muscles and our joints. So if, for example, you find you don't have the correct range of mobility for a joint, then we work on mobility for that. Or you don't have the flexibility to go through a range of motion, then we work on flexibility, which both of them include a level of mind-body connection. But we want to be able to move past that into making whatever we're working on get to the point of it being automatic, such that you're not only getting the most benefit out of a specific move or exercise and preventing or correcting injuries, then you can move on to the enhancement aspect, as well as continual levels of bringing in the cerebral portion of the mind-body connection. Okay, so the reason why I say this movement is going to help with your shoulders is that a lot of times, as I think I've said this many times before, a pain or injury or discomfort in one area of the body, such as your shoulders, unless it actually is due to a very specific blunt force trauma and you know exactly what happened, usually it's the result of our everyday habits. So the way we walk, stand, sit, sleep, or any sort of repetitive movements that we do. And over time, they all add up, move up our kinetic chain with the curse of compensation, and then it results in that injury or discomfort or knots, all sorts of stuff. So any sort of a reset or a focus, an intentional focus with the mind-body connection and one body part is going to have that ripple effect up and down the kinetic chain. So in this exercise, you're going to simply stand. You may want to have some table or wall next to you just for light support. And what you're going to do is just stand. We're going to do one side at a time. Stand with one foot in front of the other, okay? Directly in line, so heel and toe touching. So right here, you're going to already, with this sort of unnatural posture, you're already going to kick in your mind and body connection as you try to balance yourself. Now, from here, as soon as you do this, you may find that your upper body weight shifts forward in order to help balance that. What we want to do is engage our pelvis and our glutes so that we tuck that pelvis under and bring our body back in line with the weight over the back foot. Then from here, we're going to contract, so basically squeeze and release your glute muscles. And what we're going to do is feel for the difference. So one, we're keeping our balance, but we're also focusing on the different feel from the left side and the right side, because in this position you're likely not able to get an equal contraction of the glutes. And then when you switch sides, you want to feel for any differences here. Do the same thing and feel for any differences here. So what you're going for is trying to focus on squeezing through the glutes and releasing as evenly as possible. And if you do have a particular shoulder pain, usually, for example, if it's your right shoulder, bringing your left foot is going forward. Working on this side is going to help you with the right shoulder. Now, if you don't have a shoulder injury or an imbalance, then you're still going to benefit from working on both sides and focusing on trying to get that contraction even. I know it's a little awkward, but it's like I said, just a sampling of a mind-body drill or a level of mind-body connection that we can work on. So eventually we want to be able to make sure that we're getting the most out of every exercise that we're specifically doing, but also the mind-body connection in this case will also help with your overall body health. All right, I think that's it. So this is Jen signing off, reminding you to start where you are, do what you can, use what you have, and move something.